My name is Alicia. I am currently on board Marilla Discovery 2. We're currently heading to Lisbon. We were in Jamaica a few days ago, refueling, and we beseeched our Prime Minister to allow us to come into the country because we were asked to ask for assistance from our families, everybody, just to find out if we could disembark, because it would have been better for the company if they could have disembarked us on that day before heading to Lisbon. But unfortunately, Andrew refused, and now we're heading to that direction. Honestly, it's very nerve-wracking for us because, as everyone knows, the pandemic that is going on is mostly over on that side, and nobody really wants to go over there. We disembarked all the Dominican Republic persons yesterday, so this leaves a feeling of wondering why is it that we couldn't have been disembarked also? Why is it that we couldn't have been put in quarantine also? And it looks very bad on our government in regards to us, because it's like he refused us, and we don't understand why. We don't have any sicknesses on board, we don't have any illness on board. There's nothing on board to say that okay, that's why he was refusing us. So I don't understand. We're very worried, and point of the matter is we just wanted to go home. We're here, we just wanted to go home. We've been sailing around for weeks because all the ports were closed and everything, and we just thought that, being that we're Jamaican nationals, Andrew would have even tried in some way to accommodate us, prepare a facility for us, do something. We're not asking to just disembark and go straight into our homes. We're asking to disembark, be quarantine tested just like everybody else, and then release, because we are Jamaican nationals. And for us, it's really bad. And I am one of them right now. It really shook me up, because when I heard him saying no, I cried for days, and I'm still crying, because how can it be that our Jamaican government refuse us at a time like this? So we're just asking if there's anything that can be done. Still, we would appreciate it. Anything at all that can be done, it would be good for us, because we're still waiting, we're still hopeful. We don't know how we're going to get home at this point, when we're going to get home, because of all the airports and everything being closed. So any assistance would be appreciated.
Now, I am very concerned and I'm very worried given the fact that we're going into Europe where the virus is at its very peak, not knowing when and how we'll be able to get back home. Given the fact that we're here on board and there's no cases here on board with us, and to get off the ship, get into an environment where, of course, there's a lot of cases there. We don't know what's going to happen to us, and we are at an higher risk of getting the virus. Now, I am worried. I am worried at the moment because sooner or later things is going to get to the point where all all nationalities on board will be going home, and we Jamaicans, we don't know what's going to happen to us. We are going to be here on board because our government refused us. Now we are at the point now where I am hoping that the government can organize or do something with some company in Europe, some airline or something, where we can get a straight chartered flight back to Jamaica or the nearest port of call to where we will be. They can get a flight to bring us back home where we know that at least we'll be safe, because we don't have any virus now and we don't want to mix with anyone else, because this is one of our main concerns here. I'm very worried. I am so worried because it may take us 3, 4 months before we are able to get back home, given the fact that the virus is at its very peak.
We're feeling very sad and very disappointed. I was speaking to a few of my countrymen today, and they pretty much feel the same way. Reality is starting to kick in because we're on our way to Europe. Um, I was speaking with the captain today, and he said about the 13th or the 14th of April we should be arriving in Portugal. We don't know what's awaiting us there. We don't know what's gonna happen when we get there. Um, but of course, he said that the main reason for going there is to disembark crew members. So he said for those of us Jamaicans who have people in government who can assist us, we should focus our energy more on them helping us to get home from Europe when the ship gets there. Because that's pretty much where it is now. He said that if we're in the middle of the Atlantic, they unfortunately they are not going to be able to turn around because it would cost the company too much. If it was when the ship was still in Dominican Republic, then of course they could have turned back. But in the middle of the Atlantic, it would cost the company too much because one tank of fuel for the ship costs roughly $1 million. So we need to get somebody to help us to get home once we get to Europe because everybody will be disembarking, so basically we will be left out in the cold. The president or prime minister of the Philippines, he will be sending a chartered aircraft for his people. The president of India, he will also be doing the same. So pretty much we Jamaicans will be left out in the cold. So we need all the help we can get. We need all the help we can get because the last thing we want is to be stuck there in Europe.